Welcome to the Talview Podcast, where AI meets expertise. Join us as we explore the future of interviewing and proctoring.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Talview Insights podcast. I'm Sanjo, and today we will be talking about unmasking AI deception in hiring. If you think that the perfect candidate you interviewed last week was the real deal, well, you might want to think again. Let me explain. Imagine this candidate aces every technical question in an interview, right? But it turns out they had someone behind the scenes off camera feeding them the answers, or even more bizarre, an entire technical test completed by a proxy while an AI bot clicks and submits the results. Crazy, isn't it? But it's happening. And some of these personal stories you hear, the ones that make you connect and think, wow, they're perfect for this role. They could be AI generated in real time, or, and this is wild, they might even be using an AI teleprompter to sound flawless. It's not just a one-off thing anymore. Now, the big question is why? Why are candidates going to these lengths? I think it comes down to two main reasons. First, there's this intense pressure to stand out in a competitive job market. High stakes lead to desperate measures, And second, there's a growing sense that, well, the tools are there, so why not use them? It's the if I don't, someone else will mindset. I think it's worth pointing out how accessible this kind of tech has become. AI tools, hidden devices, real-time assistance. It's not just something you'd see in a spy movie anymore. It's easy to get your hands on this stuff. So yeah, this kind of AI-assisted cheating is turning into, an arms race of sorts in hiring. Candidates are learning how to outsmart traditional processes, and for many companies, it goes unnoticed entirely. And it's making us question the very foundation of how we evaluate talent. If technology keeps advancing this way, are our current methods really up to the challenge? So let's dive deeper into what this means for recruiters and companies. Outdated verification methods, they're becoming a real Achilles heel in this AI-driven landscape. These are the same systems that were honestly pretty reliable a few years ago, but now they're kind of falling apart under the pressure of these new tactics. Take, for example, AI-generated personal stories in interviews. Picture this. A candidate shares these heartfelt, super relatable experiences, the kind that make you think, wow, this person gets it. But the harsh reality is that some of these stories could be crafted by AI in real time. Yep, real time. It's honestly mind-boggling. And then there's a teleprompter phenomenon. Imagine an interview where the candidate is literally reading off AI-generated responses from a hidden screen. It's so seamless that you'd never even suspect it. You walk away thinking, this was the perfect interview. But in reality, well, it's not them. It's their tech doing the talking. Let me tell you about a recent experience I had. There was this candidate, super impressive on paper. And during the interview, their responses were just flawless, too flawless. Every answer was like it was plucked straight out of a textbook. And I thought to myself, this can't be real. It made me question whether I was even evaluating the right person at all. This is the challenge we're facing. The traditional cues we rely on to assess a candidate, like spontaneity, how they think on their feet, those things are becoming harder and harder to identify when AI steps into the process. And you realize we're not dealing with people alone anymore. We're up against the tech they bring along. All right, so let's talk about solutions. How can companies make sure that the person they're hiring is actually, who they say they are? It's not just about finding these advanced techniques, but also about rethinking how we approach verification altogether. One approach that I've found really interesting involves something called behavioral biometrics. This method analyzes how a person interacts with their device, things like typing speed, the way they move the mouse, their overall rhythm. It's those tiny details that are pretty hard for someone else or even an AI to replicate perfectly. And then there are camera-based solutions that look at micro expressions or eye movement during virtual interviews. I mean, the idea is that certain natural responses are really difficult to fake no matter how good your tech is. It's a fascinating use of AI being applied to spot other AI related tactics, kind of like fighting fire with fire, right? Some organizations are also piloting tools that verify the identity of candidates in real time. For instance, voice recognition software that compares the candidate's voice across different stages of the process, or systems that require live video verification before a test or interview begins. These might seem invasive, but honestly, they're becoming essential in this AI vs AI hiring landscape. And speaking of essential, it's not just about the technology. We have to combine it with updated policies and training. Recruiters need to understand the red flags to look for and get comfortable using these new tools. It's about creating a system where tech and human intuition work together, not against each other. But here's the thing, we're not going to solve this overnight. It's a process. And frankly, companies need to stay curious and open-minded to keep up with the pace of AI advancements. It's a game of constant iteration and improvement, And that's all for today, folks. The hiring landscape is changing faster than ever, and it's up to us to stay ahead. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, it's been a pleasure sharing this space with you. Until next time, take care and stay innovative.
Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more insightful content on Gen AI-powered interviewing and remote proctoring.